Hey, what's up? Jason couldn't make it tonight to the podcast, so we decided that I would shoot one. So, how are you? How you doing? And I felt like, what's the best way to shoot a podcast on my own than just take you on a journey of me getting up? So I am heading out early. I live north of the city. Takes me about 40 minutes to get to Hollywood. Tonight I'm going to the State Street pub in WeHo, West Hollywood. Over the years, what I have chosen to wear was always sort of, I don't know, not stressful, but, you know, I always had a lot of thoughts on it. And then I went through this thing that you see a lot of comics do where they're like, fuck it, I'm just going to pretend I rolled out of bed. I don't really even give a fuck. I'm just so funny or whatever. And then I was like, I don't think that's good either. Then I was like, I don't want to dress up too much. You don't want to be the guy that's like in a suit. Because then you're like, oh, this fucking guy really takes himself seriously. So I want to do that. So I just started dressing like, I don't know, like I'm going on a date or something, just kind of cash, but you know, not making it look like I don't give a shit. It's like a job interview if you were trying to be a manager at Long John Silver's. My wife always makes super fun of me too because I will leave the house so fucking early before a show. But that's how I get sort of in my space in my head to be able to write and figure out what I'm going to say tonight, which as of this moment at 7 p.m., shows at 10:30, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about or which jokes I'm going to mention. So I mentioned that I haven't put together what I'm going to say at the show tonight, and I do stack jokes depending on what kind of show I think it is. It has a lot to do with how often I'm going up too. If I'm going up a lot, the times that I'm going up seem less precious. So I'm willing to try out new material. So the way you grow, for me anyways, is that you just do a lot of spots. And so tonight, this particular room is a room that I've done twice. I think there are 3 shows in there, and I've only done the second show. The first show is it's real hot. I think it's all women, and they're a smart crowd, and they're very supportive. It's in the upstairs of this bar. I'll show you. It's good. It's a good show, but it's all women. Can't get on that one. And I'm not willing to transition just to get on that show. But maybe I should. I sold the film to Lionsgate during COVID when they would take anything. To be honest with you, they were just like, whatever, what do you got? All right, you're just mowing the lawn for an hour? We'll take it. By the time you get to the third show at night, I would say you're probably lucky if it's not just all comics, which is a bummer. But it's also one of the rooms with a producer who sticks around for all the shows and has put me on another one of her shows in the middle slot. It's a much better room, so it's kind of like, all right, you pay the piper, so to speak. Yeah, it's Steve.
What can I get started?
Hey, I'm going to do a venti pike with 1 raw sugar and half and a tall cup of ice. I get coffee so much that I, for the longest time, had a joke about getting coffee at McDonald's because it's notoriously, the hottest coffee on the planet. And I could never get them to put the right amount of ice in it to cool it down, because I can't take it being so fucking hot. So if they would hand it to me and it had too much ice in it, I would say, hey, this has too much ice, and they wouldn't take it back. If it had too little ice, they wouldn't take it back through the window. You know, once they give you the food, they don't want to take it back. It's like some kind of health regulation. So I used to say, can you put a little bit more ice in this? It's for a baby. And they would be like, oh my God, yeah, sorry. And they would immediately take it and put more ice in it. No one ever asked me, why the fuck are you giving coffee to a baby? One of the things I think that I struggle with a tremendous amount in finding my voice is and this is a conversation I have in my head all the time, and that is that I feel like my life is very different than most of the people that are watching me at my shows. So I own a small business that I started during COVID. That's kind of strange. And so the things I deal with on a daily basis that make me laugh, I often wonder if those things will make me look like I'm not relatable.
I'm 47, I'm a dad, and I identify as that, so that's convenient. It helps out. It's helped out a lot. I don't know what it would be like to not feel that way. I have felt out of place. I'm from the Midwest. I just moved here from Indiana. I don't know what that says to you guys, but
so I struggle with relating to what kind of material would they want to hear. And I think all comics would probably tell you, the older ones would probably tell you, that doesn't fucking matter. You just have to go be yourself up there and figure out how to make that funny. And that's, again, a real nice sentiment. But let's be honest, when you're going up in Koreatown with a bunch of 20-year-olds, you know, you better be able to say something about Tinder, even if it's that you don't know how to fucking use it. I'm in WeHo fairly early. I just got off the phone with my daughter, who has done stand-up comedy for, I don't know, she did 5 or 6 years. She lives in Denver, and she's good at the creative process and understands what it's like to dig through a joke and figure out where the funny is. I talked to my brother before that, and it reminded me of a joke. We were talking about my mother and her health.
not good. She's in a hole of depression, and she can't get out, and it's making me very sad.
And the premise is that the basic premise is your family never dies at an appropriate time. And I caveat that with saying something like, you know, I'm really concerned about my vacation days at work, because it's not going to line up with when my parents die. And so I always have to go forward thinking, like, can we take this vacation, or are they going to ruin it?
And I told my children about it, and they were like, is she going to ruin our vacation?
Which of course is awful. The joke is that going to start a business where I have a year-round haunted house. And if your parents are very close to death, you can bring them to my haunted house, and we'll make sure that they don't make it out alive. Okay. Got to park a couple times tonight. I'm going to go down and get some pizza at Dobrik's. Is that the YouTube guy? I'll call one of my kids and find out. I'm down the street from Carney's. Got a couple of good tags for this joke that I feel good about. I'm going to go in the back door here. And then the formula of that will be, well, what will be my closer because it's got to be strong enough to get them back if that wordy joke doesn't go well. I didn't serve. And my son said, yeah, no shit. Okay, you guys are crushing it, and thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. Who's coming up? Yeah. Well, it is 8 a.m. the day after the show, and I gotta say, the show devolved into 2-3 comics just going up on stage and talking. Became a hugger show. A hugger show, I feel like, is where same people go to the shows. A lot of hugging, how you doing? It's more about the scene than it is comedy. Nobody got laughs, but to be honest with you, I feel like they sort of didn't care. In no way could you test jokes out at that show. There were 3 shows. There should have only been 2, and then cancel the 3rd show. But sometimes they do that to try and pack them in, and then you just burn an audience out one after another until you get down to 5 comics. And anyways, that particular show has a producer that does other shows that I wanted to get on, so I felt like it was just a good idea to go and be a team player. So that's what I did. As for comments on the joke that I wrote yesterday, I have 0 comments because I might as well have been shouting it at the wind. I don't think anybody heard anything. So back at it again in a couple days. This is Getting Up. Yeah. Hope Jason's having better luck across town.